Good morning, friends. Sorry, it is another rainy day, so back inside before I take off this morning. But we often are told, or it's implied, that the godly Christian life is all about activity, busyness, big church buildings, great mission trips, stories that just wow you. And yet, when I read through the Bible, I don't see that. I see that we are to rise to the occasion as it comes to us, but we are not to be going out looking for trouble. Now, we have the great example of the Apostle Paul, who was called to a very specific ministry to go where the churches had not yet been established. And that's amazing and awesome and wonderful. But we hear from Paul continuously not to go seeking trouble, not to go seeking excitement. In 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, he says this, "But I encourage you, brothers and sisters, to do this even more," talking about brotherly love. "But we encourage you, brothers and sisters, to do this even more, to seek to lead a quiet life, to mind your own business." You ever been part of a church where that's not the case, right? We've all experienced that, right? Where some people's business is to be in everybody else's business. To seek to lead a quiet life, to mind your own business, and to work with your own hands as we commanded you. Well, I'm going to read the rest of that. "So that you may behave properly in the presence of outsiders and not be dependent on anyone." Now, I don't think he's necessarily talking about manual labor versus skilled labor or something like that. He's not saying that it's better to be a laborer than to not. What he's saying is to work with your own hands. Don't be dependent upon other people. Earn your own living so that you are not dependent on others' goodwill, but rather you can give goodwill. You can help others who are in need. That's the goal here. But when you think about that, it's like to live an ordinary, quiet, peaceful, minding your own business kind of life. We sure could use more of that, right? And I think when you hear that, I don't know about you, but I hear that and I go, that would be nice, right? Now it says seek to lead a quiet life. Now I think there's a lot of reasons in the world where we don't get to live what we want to live. But that should be the goal. Our goal should be to work hard, to be part of a church family that we get to serve others and be blessed by others, and to just not get into all the kerfluffles of the world out there. And that's a wonderful blessing. And that's kind of how we have heaven, the new earth, pitched to us. When we're resurrected, we're going to be working. We're going to have jobs. We're going to do things that are a blessing to us and to others. It's going to be without the curse that is placed upon work, right? The thorns and thistles from Genesis. That was the curse for sin. That's going to be removed, and we're going to have the blessing of work. It's going to be like work, like one of those video games where you where you play the video game of a job, and you're like, hey, wait a minute, did I just play a video game where I'm a fast food worker? Yeah, I just did. But it's a lot more fun when you don't have to deal with people. Anyway, we're going to be working in the new heaven, the new earth. We're going to be at peace with other people. We're going to have time just to hear people's stories, and there's not going to be the drama. There's not going to be the fighting, the backbiting, the difficulties. And that's a wonderful, wonderful picture, isn't it? But that's what we should be seeking. So how does that kind of impact us? Well, one, bigger is not always better. There are big mega churches doing wonderful things out there, and there are small churches out there doing wonderful things too. It's about the community that's formed. It's about how they're reaching their surrounding community. It's about, if a church of 50 reaches one person, it's like a church of 500 reaching 10 people, isn't it? I mean, really, when you think about it. Sure, it may be more exciting for a church of 500 to reach 10 people, but a church of 50 reaching one person is just as impressive, just as awesome for the kingdom of God, right? So we shouldn't be looking for a big flash in the pan. We should not be seeking to follow the teaching of people who are always excitable, always controversy, always on the edge and about to get punched in the nose kind of thing. And there's a time and place for that, right? But you can sense the people that are looking for a controversy versus the people that aren't looking for a controversy, that controversy finds them, right? And it's this quiet and peaceful person in the midst of a storm that is very impressive. And God brings the storm oftentimes to us. We don't have to go looking for it. But then there's other people who they seem to like the storm. They like the controversies. They like all the drama. And it just follows them wherever they go. They don't wait for God to bring it to them. They create it themselves. And that's not how we should be. We should seek to have jobs that pay money so that we can support ourselves, so we can give generously. We should seek to establish homes. We should seek to be part of community that's as drama-free as possible. That's not to say we should avoid controversies or avoid hard conversations. We're not supposed to do that. We're supposed to be faithful first, then peaceable, right? Jesus said that, he said, people think that I came to bring peace, but I didn't. I came to bring a sword, to turn a father against his children and his children against the father, right? It's not like Jesus is saying, I want that. He's saying, that's going to be what happens when people understand my message. When people understand what I'm teaching, some people are going to accept it, some people are going to reject it. And the people that reject it are going to really reject it. So how do we seek a peaceful and quiet life? To just do the good things that are before you. Don't necessarily seek to move around the world. Don't necessarily try to be part of the biggest, coolest, hippest group around you, like a church or whatever. But rather instead, seek to do the good things that are ahead of you, never despising the little things that faithfulness brings you to. Helping that one person, dropping off a box of food on that person's doorstep because you know that they need the help. Putting the check in that person's mailbox or that envelope of cash for the person that desperately needs it. Doing the little things that don't seem like much are truly the powerful things of the kingdom of God. A quiet, peaceful life where you mind your own business and you help other people as they have needs and as they express those needs. We should look to find those who have needs and to proactively take care of them, but we should also not stick our noses in everywhere either. All right. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments down below. I'm trying to catch up on your comments. I will eventually read all of them. So if you see the little heart from the channel, you know that I've read your comment, and I reply to the ones with questions and stuff like that as best I can. But I'm trying to catch up on that. But thanks so much for joining with us. If you want to check out some other Bible studies, a couple more right there on the screen, the other playlists. Of course, this is weekdays, so we won't be here Saturday or Sunday once again. But all right, friends, have a great rest of your day. Hopefully you stay dry. I don't know if I will, but I'm going to try. Till we meet again, God bless you all.